I have been waiting what feels like forever to share a whole homeschool haul with you guys. I recently did a thrifted homeschool haul, but today I'm going to show you the mega haul I accumulated over the last few months buying things to start our homeschool journey, not just our homeschool year, but our whole homeschool journey off on a really good foot. If you are new here, hi, my name is Sarah, and on my channel I love to share tips, tricks, hacks for busy moms, working moms, and also just relatable content, sharing the real life of what it's like to work and balance work, life, and everything in between as a mom to 3 little girls, ages 6, 3, and 8 months old. My husband, San, is a busy chef, and I used to run a daycare in my home, and now I just watch one little boy a few days a week, and we are gearing up to homeschool, and I also run this channel and online business as well. So I would love if you would become part of our Glue Stick family and subscribe. So I announced a few months ago that we are going to be homeschooling this fall. I have a whole video on that. I'm not going to take up a lot of time explaining why, but a lot of you guys have asked, what are you buying to prepare? Now, I want to say you don't need to buy anything really to homeschool, but I really wanted a few things. The teacher in me, I'm a former English teacher, and I taught preschool to my daycare. I really had some things in mind that I really wanted to buy to have access to for our room, for learning, and just to reference for books as well. So there are many things that I bought, but like I said, you don't need to buy all of this or any of this, but I wanted to share in case it gave you guys some ideas of some quality things that might add to your homeschool, or just if you don't homeschool, just some great resources to have at your home, in your daycare, or just to use with your children. So let's start with stuff I added to the room. A lot of it is right here. I added this map, which is a Cavallini poster on the wooden dowels that they attach it to. I got it on Amazon, and I will link to everything I can below. It's beautiful. You see it right when you walk in our home and our homeschool room, and I just love that we can reference this at any time, and it's just absolutely beautiful, and I just love the colors. I also really want to incorporate a lot of nature into our homeschool, so I got a set of 3. This is actually just one of 3. There are 2 smaller pieces that are shaped like a house or a building as well, but those are, I put one in each of our older girls' rooms so that they can have their own little nature display of things that they want to keep separate. But we add things to this, and we'll continue adding things to this that we find out in nature that we want to keep. So far we have a little like wasp's nest, I believe that is, that my daughter found, which is really cool, and we'll add lots of other things. You can hang it on the wall or just display it as we are. I love this. I also got a mini flag so we can do the Pledge of Allegiance. I think that's really important, something I really want to have my kids learn, a very strong foundation in our government and civics and what it means to be an American and things like that. So I have a flag here so we can do our daily pledge. And then of all the things that I bought, this is my favorite, the thing that I wanted the most, that I was the most afraid to pull the trigger on because they are not inexpensive. Treasures by Jennifer, I think is what it's called, has her own beautiful one, but I found this one a little more affordable. It was on sale on Etsy. But I recommend both. They're absolutely gorgeous. I really wanted a wooden calendar instead of like the paper one up on the wall or the ones with the little sleeves that you can stick numbers into. I just think it's more beautiful, it's more textural, and it will really last us forever as long as we don't lose any of the pieces, and we could always probably order more. So I got this one on Etsy. It has the seasons, it's got the year, it's got the month, and then you can change out the day. They just have these round wooden numbers. It also comes with pieces for the weather, so we can talk about the weather. There's the different moon phases as well that comes with it, and then you can also purchase different ones for holidays to put on the day. So we have Mother's Day here, and then it comes with a couple of these red borders that you can put on for whatever day of the month it is, and you can change it up. So I love it. Also has a stand so we can just bring it to the floor if we're doing circle time and want to do it there. If my baby were to chew on it, it's not going to wreck it, whereas the paper ones, it would. So I just love this, and I just keep it right here because it's absolutely gorgeous and looks so nice with our map and everything. So I love our calendar. It's my favorite piece in our entire room. One other thing I got for our room, you can kind of see, is this bird feeder that hooks onto the window. And I actually just saw birds feeding out of it. It's been almost 2 weeks since I put it up, and I had food spread out all over to try to lure them over here, and it looks like they finally found it. So that way we have these giant windows in the room and we can look out and see the birds at any time when they're eating, and we can kind of study them from right inside our home. Of course, all of this is new. If you've been following me for a while, I just recently added this whole structure, and it's dividing our playroom from our entryway, our homeschool room from our entryway. But I'm not going to link to every single thing here. I'm just showing you guys, but I will show you some of the resources. But obviously this is all new stuff that we have added to the room, but I'm just going to show you specifically like learning resources and things of that nature. Okay, so let's talk learning resources that I bought for my children for homeschooling. The first thing I bought was this timer. I wanted something that was visual for my kids, compact, easy to use, but different than using my phone all the time. And I like that it's visual, so I can set it to like 15 minutes. And then as it counts down, the blue will get smaller and smaller and smaller until it is done. So I really love how visual this is, and it's a great tool for if we're timing something, or if I say we have to work for 30 more minutes or play for 30 more minutes and then we can go outside or whatever. We have something visual, so I don't have to be the one being like, no, it's 2 more minutes. They can see it. Because my 6-year-old is going into 1st grade, we're going to be learning a lot about money. So I decided to get a play set of money just for schooling, not necessarily for playing, unless we keep it contained and keep everything, because I don't want to lose any of these. But it's just realistic looking money that is not real but looks real, so we can learn all the different types of money and how much they are worth. This is mainly for my 3-year-old who's learned all her letters but is still, you know, really interested in them, and we are working on writing them more. So I got this set. It is a letter and number shape construction activity set, so you can make the different letters with the pieces, and I just love this. You can also make other things just for fun. Also for my 3-year-old, I wanted something that I could pull out from time to time that would really keep her interest, be fun, but also educational. So I got her this preschool busy book. You definitely can make your own, but it would take a lot more time than I wanted to spend. So it's basically these like laminated sheets of paper. Everything's Velcroed so she can match the colors, the letters, numbers. She can do this puzzle of a rainbow, which also has counting because the numbers are along the bottom. Shapes, talking about small and big, talking about the seasons, matching like items you would need for each type of weather, just matching pictures, talking about the planets. And that's it. I just love that I could bring this somewhere, or we can pull it out and she can just kind of work next to me. I can help as needed, but then I can focus on my 6-year-old if we're doing something a little more complicated that I really need her to focus on. My 3-year-old will have something educational to do alongside us. Another thing I got was this tabletop whiteboard. I don't have a lot of wall space in this room, so I didn't want to take up the space on the wall with a whiteboard, and since our table isn't even next to a wall besides a giant window, I wanted something I could put on the table and we can, or on the floor, or bring upstairs to the kitchen, or bring outside wherever we are, and I can write things, or my daughters can write things. Graph things. There's a graph on one side and just plain on the other side. And I wanted something that we could use but also just put away and store when we're not using it, that's not super huge but big enough to really get good use out of. And so I picked this one up, and it like locks when it's shut, and it's really compact but a good size, and it feels very durable. And then something I got to go along with this is a set of magnetic letters. So I really wanted these for learning how to spell words, learning our letters. I can use this with all 3 of my girls as they get older, but my 3-year-old definitely could use these, and my 6-year-old. And it has many sets of each letter. It's got uppercase and lowercase, and they are magnetic, so we can use this board to spell words as well, which I love. It also has question marks and different punctuation, exclamation points, and all the vowels are red and the consonants are blue, so you can talk about that as well. So I just think this is a great set to go along with a whiteboard that is a great staple in any homeschool. And the letters actually come with their own little board. If you don't have a whole whiteboard, that's okay. It comes with a smaller one, but I just like having the big one for many other uses. Something big we bought was a microscope. This is something I have been wanting to buy our girls for years, and now it just felt like the right time since we will be doing homeschooling. We can look at anything under the microscope now, which is really cool. So I got this 52-piece microscope set, and it's for kids. It also comes with brine, shrimp eggs, and different specimen slides. But I also, to go with it, got another set of 25 biology slides, so you can learn about different things and see different things up close with this. And I'm sure we are going to get a lot of use out of this over time. I think my girls are going to love having a microscope. I also picked up a Melissa and Doug turn and tell clock, so we can learn about telling time, and it's really cute and looks nice on our shelves. And then as you can see behind me, I have these 3 tracing boards. I bought these mainly for decor and for my girls, especially my 3-year-old, when we're writing and she's learning to write, she can see how to make all the letters, so I can bring these down on the table so she can see it, but they're also really beautiful up on our shelves. But you also can actually trace with them. They come with these little wooden like pencils that don't actually write, but you can just trace the letters with them and numbers, which I love. So it's got uppercase, lowercase, and then 0 through 10. And then I just bought these little like easel stands so that I can display them on our shelves, and I love it. Apparently I love a lot of things. You're gonna hear me say I'm really excited, and I love it because I love everything that I bought. I'm really excited about it. And then lastly, let's talk about books. I recently shared our whole curriculum unboxing so you can see what we went with. We did go with Heart of Dakota for the main curriculum, but then I'm also doing The Good and the Beautiful for math and language arts. So I have a whole video on the books and things that came with that. I'm not going to cover that in this video, but I wanted to show some other resources that we got, because Heart of Dakota comes with a ton of books and guides and Bibles and devotionals and things like that. But I also wanted to add in an adventure Bible. I've heard a lot of good things about this one. We don't have an actual like full Bible word for word, besides like the kids' Bibles that have been, you know, adapted for little kids. So I love that we can actually look up Bible verses in it. We don't have a book that's written so kids can understand it, but also has like all the verses, if that makes sense. So we can actually look up verses and chapters in here. And it also has lots of little things to learn about, and it looks fun, a little bit more fun for kids. So I'm excited that we now have that. I picked up this book called Life Cycles. I think this will be a great resource for our homeschool because it can teach kids so many different cycles that you can find in the world and the universe. So we have like a volcano cycle, rock cycles, seeds and plants, ants' life cycles, the weather cycles, so many cycles that we can find in here and read about. I also wanted to make sure we have a dictionary. I was an English teacher, English major, love English, and so I want my kids to have a very strong vocabulary, so when they ask what something means, we can look it up, and we can also learn about words in here. And it's got tons of pictures and things, and is written for kids so that they can actually understand it. And I really want my kids to know how to use a dictionary, know how to use a thesaurus, an atlas, an encyclopedia, all different types of skills that are kind of going by the wayside because we have computers and technology. I want my kids to still be able to do those things, so this will be a great way to learn. And then I've been reading a lot of homeschooling books, but these are 2 that I have read that I actually purchased, so I thought I would share with you. A friend recommended Teaching from Rest, as well as a lot of you guys did. This is by Sarah Mackenzie. This is a very great book about the philosophy of homeschooling from a Christian perspective and what God says about it, and how we can create rest and teach from rest and have a restful environment in our homes and in our homeschools. And then I'm still slowly working my way through Mother Culture. This is by Karen Andriola. This is a beautiful, beautiful book, a great resource that you just want to pull out and read. It's just like therapeutic to read. It's just a beautiful philosophy about how when we fill ourselves up, we also are filling our children up, and how to just give to ourselves, give to our kids in a very natural, holistic, like simple way, I guess. I don't really know a good way of describing it, but it's just a very beautiful book, and it also has gorgeous artwork inside and just a lot of little nuggets to think about and ponder that I really love. So I would highly recommend this as well. So that is most of the stuff that I bought. I'm sure I'll be buying some more leading up to, but those are like the staples that I was just chomping at the bit to buy for my homeschool once we decided to homeschool, and saved up to some money to buy all these things. But like I said, you don't need to buy anything to homeschool. You just need yourself, some resources, and the world around you. Books, you know, from the library. You don't have to go out and buy a ton of stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and I would love if you would go over to our community tab and find the thumbnail for this video. Since YouTube has disabled our comments, I always post the thumbnail over there so you guys can comment and we can keep the conversation going. And I would love to know what are some staple items that you use in your homeschool all the time, or if you're new to homeschooling, what's something that you're really excited to purchase or looking forward to purchase one day for your homeschool. Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.